Hello, today I'm going to tell you all about the house where I grew up. Huh? Yeah, I know, it's just been a really busy week, honestly. I'll just have to try and just smash this out. I haven't got much time. What? Oh. Now, it makes sense to start my tour of the house where I grew up with, of course, my old bedroom. Many parents, when their children fly the nest, they like to keep their bedrooms exactly how they left them when they did finally leave. The bedspread's still the same, nice and clean. Curtains still the same. Probably old books and toys and things like that. Everything that they left there will be kept just as is, just on the off chance that one day their child might come back to stay in their bedroom. Not my parents, however. No, the moment I left, they converted my bedroom into a bathroom. So welcome to my bedroom, which as you can see is now a bathroom. There's a bath here, a toilet there, sink there. Nothing remains of my childhood in this bedroom. You have to imagine what it was like. My bed went from this wall to nearly the end of that wall. I had a wardrobe there, a desk over there, posters on the wall, obviously, all long gone. Footballers, I remember I had Gary Lineker up there. Bobby Robson, who was then England manager, I remember was just there next to my head with a little light. One point I had posters of The Undertaker, the British Bulldog, World Wrestling Entertainment stars, of course. But that's it, nothing remains, and it is now a bathroom. When they had the bathroom put in, they put a toilet in, which made it 3 toilets in the house between just 2 people, which I believe is the highest ratio of toilet to person in the country outside of the royal family. I think they've got quite a lot of loos in their mansions and castles. But that's it. I can't really show you much more. I do like to sometimes come in here and try to remember. It's difficult, Now when we come to stay, obviously I don't have a room to go to, so we stay here. That's in the room which is still known as the spare room. My sister's got a little room down there. My brother's got his little room down there. I get put in the spare room. It's not called Dan's room or anything. But, I would say at least I had this view, but unfortunately that's changed as well. And I've always wanted to say this. When I used to look out here, it was all fields. And it really was. Well, actually, it was an orchard. But now, lots of new houses out there. Things change, don't they? Things change. I'm standing now in the dining room. Just behind me there you'll see a picture of Richard Branson's Round the World balloon with actually a tiny little bit of the balloon there that my dad got, which is quite nice when he did that, and I guess it was probably in the 80s. Dining room's all right in here now. When we first moved in years ago, it was freezing in the winter. An electric heater in here just to keep it warm. It wasn't very nice. You kind of sort of would avoid it if you could help it. Also, lots of sort of disasters happened when we first moved in. In here, as you can see, you can see that sort of square there. That part of the roof just fell in one day. It was raining a lot, and the whole thing just fell in. So there was a great big hole in the roof. And then in the kitchen, it must have been around. It wasn't exactly the same time, but probably within a year of that, all the kitchen units, all the cupboards, just one day just fell off, just threw themselves onto the floor. Luckily no one was in there, because genuinely, if one of us kids had been in there, we would have died. I probably shouldn't show you too much of the house, it's not my house anymore, and I haven't really got permission from mum and dad to be walking around ridiculing their house. But just behind me you can see up there some of my dad's old football trophies. I loved these when I was a kid. I thought it was so impressive that my dad had all these football trophies. He ran a team called Colroy Sports because his name is Colin and his friend was called Roy, so they put their names together and they made Colroy Sports. Yeah, if we can have a look at this. Oh, what have I done? Here we go. Division 5 runners-up 1979-80 in the Medway Area Sunday Football League. That's that one. But this was the one I really liked. Oh, I thought this was the best looking trophy ever. And this is actually, I think, for the player of the season for maybe that year or around there. And it was only sort of many years later, my dad admitted to me that he didn't win this because my dad was worse than me at football. Someone in his team won it and then gave it to my dad, which I thought was quite a nice thing. But in retrospect, I just think he probably didn't want it. Look at these behind me here, the complete set of the Encyclopedia Britannica. I used to use these fair amount, you know, every now and again when I was at school to look up stuff for, you know, projects or homework or whatever. They're really useful. And I remember that Mum and Dad had to really sort of save up and sort of buy one book at a time. It took ages to get them all. They were quite expensive. And I used to worry quite a lot when I was growing up about how I was going to be able to afford my own set of Encyclopedia Britannica. It was a real concern for me. Of course, and then, you know, someone invented the internet and took that concern away, and it was a real weight off my shoulders. One thing my parents do have is a really nice garden. When I was growing up, I used to play a lot of football in this back garden. I used to like to commentate on all my games. Really enjoyed doing that. A bit weird, but that's how it is. Since I left, they've put in a lot of new features. There's a lot of more plants have gone in. A pond has gone in. That would have been deadly. With me playing football, I would have killed quite a few of those koi carp in there. But what I'm sitting in now is what is known as the Orb, or to me and my siblings, Dad's Folly. This is a weird structure that my dad got sold at some exhibition somewhere for too much money. No one really knows why he bought it. It doesn't really get used very much. Kind of looks okay, but the problem with the Orb is that there's no time of year where it's useful. In the winter, it's really cold and a bit miserable to sit in it. In the summer, it's too hot and you just want to sit outside. There is no real good time to sit in the Orb, so it sits here, and occasionally someone comes in and sits in it and then remembers that there's probably somewhere nicer to sit. Okay, so this is my dad here. His name's Colin. Dad, can you explain why you bought the Orb?
Well, it's brilliant. You know, when you're retired, you want to sit out in the garden, all weathers, and the brilliant thing is you can move it round so that if it's windy, you can move it around so that you're not in the wind. And this bit, the table goes down, and you've got more of these. You can lay them all out. You can actually sleep in here.
Have you ever slept in there?
Only when my wife has chucked me out of the house, yes.
So most nights then.
Yeah.
And how much did this great large globe that sits in the garden cost you?
Well, if I'm honest, I wanted it, my wife didn't. It cost £7,000 and I didn't tell her I bought it. That was the worst thing. But to redeem myself, I had to buy a wood-burning stove, which she wanted.
As you can see behind me, most of my family is already here. We're all down in Kent to celebrate my mum and dad's 51st wedding anniversary. An incredible, almost unfathomable achievement. It's the first time I've certainly been here since lockdown, first time since Christmas. So, and I think the barbecue's about ready. So I'm going to head off and hopefully they won't watch this vlog.